So we are here taking a look at our Dearest player, and I am joined by Blazer. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing really fine. Today was really chill. I was looking forward to this interview, not gonna lie. And how about you?
I'm good. I'm just realizing that the audio is probably going to be, yeah, if I turn it down in Firefox, that should be better so that it's not interfering with the Discord audio. I
Yeah,
had to do
awesome.
the mixing kind of in Windows as opposed to in the in
Yeah,
OBS.
volume on streams is really difficult to do.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't want to have any of those technical issues getting interfering with the interview itself. So
Yeah,
sorry
no
about
problem,
that.
no
But
problem.
yeah, so let's get right into it. Can you talk a little bit about your background in game development? And you were the solo developer on this project, right?
Yeah, I'm a solo developer of this project, yes. And I've been making games since like 2019 or 2018. I'm a self-taught game developer in Unity, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I've been developing on and off. I've also made my own game engine. It's a 2D game engine, but I didn't use it here. It's a Unity game. And yeah, that's really it.
Wow. So, what was the impetus for creating your own game engine?
I've always been interested in making my own game engine because I think that the tools are about the most interesting thing in game development. So I just decided to do my own C# game engine. It's pretty much working, but it's private source for now.
Yeah, that's super cool. So, like, is there anything specifically that you were trying to address with that custom engine, like in terms of the tooling that you saw as a benefit over one of the like publicly available engines?
I've been trying to make like a very highly customizable editor in my game engine, and I
Mhm.
think I've succeeded in a lot of factors, but it's not yet finished. I mean, the game engine project is a very side project to me. I only sometimes work on it, but it's really fun nonetheless. I learned a bunch of C# stuff with it.
That's super cool. Um, and then is the idea that you're going to use this like privately at first for your own projects and then maybe start opening it up so that other people can use it as well?
Yeah, that was the initial idea, but to be honest, I'm not sure if I'm gonna actually finish the engine because it's just way simpler to use Unity, and it's kind of a waste of time, to be honest, to just make your own engine. But the project is really cool. I'm never like gonna delete anything or do anything with it. It's really cool. I might finish it even someday, or I don't know, license it anywhere. I don't know, but yeah, I don't regret doing anything with it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that all sounds cool. So, in that vein then, so why don't we talk a little bit about the inspiration behind the game itself, Our Dearest Player?
I've been always really interested in like games that simulate websites. I think that's really interesting, and I've seen this jam, and I was like, yeah, I could make something like that for this game jam, and yeah, I tried my best, and I think it looks pretty cool. I think I succeeded in emulating like a website. I think it's pretty cool.
Is this built just using like Unity's internal UI components, or
Okay, so that's a funny story actually, because it was 3 a.m. for me, and I was trying to figure out how to make a game inside of a game, and so I actually did like an emulation game thing inside of Unity game engine, which is basically like emulating game objects with like virtual game objects. It's really good. The only limitation with that is that I cannot use the regular UI objects inside of the virtual games, but like
huh?
everything else I can do just fine.
Interesting. So is that a like a custom thing that you've written again, or is it a like an actual available like asset store package?
No, I wrote it in like an hour or two, but to be honest, I was extremely stressed because that's something huge, and it was yeah, like I said in this game, I gotta go to sleep. That's exactly how I felt back then.
This is the WebGL build failed.
Yeah.
So sad.
Yeah,
Oh
this
man.
game is broken.
Is that based on any personal experience? Have you had that happen to you? Or is it just something that you know is
No,
happening?
I'm really happy that I didn't have this happen to me ever. But yeah, I've seen some games that had that, and I know it's very common, so I had to implement it in this game.
Yeah, no, that this I wouldn't say that this exact thing has happened to me. A version of this has happened where I published at last year's GMTK Jam game. Um, the web build would crash at a predictable point, and yet I could not identify the source. It seemed like an infinite loop problem, and it was just like maddening to. It's like, do I pull the web build so people don't complain about it? Do I leave it there so people like maybe check it out and then download it if they encounter the freeze? And it's like, such a mess.
Wow, that's terrible. I cannot imagine that happening to me.
Yeah,
But like,
yeah.
was it crashing in like the loading state or like in game?
No, it was like a turn-based game, and then when the anime AI went to like decide on what its action was, it would just freeze. Like again, I could never pin down the exact moment it was happening, but it would start, you get past this title screen, like everything else would work normally, and then it would freeze. Like,
Wow, that's horrible.
yeah. So I'm glad that this was not based on a personal experience of yours.
Yeah, no. The only thing I had with the WebGL builds is that it would crash in the loading, but I think it's common. It's in the Unity thing.
Okay, I see.
So yeah, like a few settings I changed and it was fine. So yeah.
Yeah, so can you talk a little bit more about what you meant by like simulating Unity objects? Like what exactly are you doing to like simulate stuff?
So basically, when you press the run game button, the game is kind of loading, and after the loading is completed, I initiate all the objects within the virtual game and call their virtual start function, and also initiate the update functions in all the objects, and it's basically like the Unity thing. And also I use was it render texture? Yeah, it was render texture to put the image of the game in the UI so you can see the game.
Okay, I see. So the game, you're not even loading a scene. You are like all this stuff exists, and then you are like initializing it, and as you say, like taking all the output from the game, putting it into a render texture, so that like this entire screen is built with Unity UI, and then the
Yes.
game that we're playing is sort of contained within that. Okay, I get it. That's super cool.
Yeah, the biggest problem with that actually was getting the mouse position inside of the window.
Of course.
And I'm very sad about it, but I couldn't figure out a way to do this, so I hard coded like a very weird math equation, and it kind of approximately gets the mouse position, but it's not quite right. Very sad about it, but yeah, like in the time constraint, I had to really speedrun making this game. Actually, 4 games. So
yeah. Oh no, I mean there's that one. There's that we just can't see it. You spent most of your time working on that one, right?
Yeah, obviously.
This is funny. For some reason, I know I only have to move the cursor up and down, but for some reason I keep moving my cursor like more and more to the left, just subconsciously, like as if I'm following the pipes.
This one is very confusing, actually. It's my favorite one.
Yeah, I didn't understand it at first, but the second, like, I died, and then I understood, like, oh, of course, the roles reversed. I'm moving the pipes, not the bird itself.
Yeah, of course.
So
yeah. So which one is your favorite, actually?
I mean, it probably is this one, just because it, like, if I flip back through these, I didn't rate the one. Like, this is, I think I rated these realistically, like each individual game. If a game didn't load, I'm not going to give it 1-star reviews. I'm just going to not rate it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's actually very fair.
Yeah, the moving platforms one was interesting. The very first one here was yes, I like the little meta jokes you have in the comments here. It's like, it's just the one taken from the video, so unoriginal. It's like, well, originality is not something we have to rate it by, so
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah, it's very meta. But the only thing I think I really did not the best in this jam is, I don't know why, but a lot of players don't realize that they can actually scroll down to the comments. I thought I made it clear with the scroll bar, but not really many people picked up on that, so I was really sad about it.
You know, I think the issue might just be that there's like the scroll bar is here, yes, but this is so clearly cut off at the bottom here that maybe people just don't realize there's anything.
Yeah, I could have made like a UI dots or something below, so like, you know, maybe that something might be down there, but it was like I didn't realize anything about this issue.
Even if you had something like you're not necessarily going to see that if I put it on the screen like this, if you have the like a box sort of like half cut off at the bottom, then that
this makes sense, right?
Yeah. Because I think that I'm looking at each of these screens, the text doesn't get so large that there wouldn't have been space to include that little like text box there. Because yeah, I think beat my score of 73. Yeah, this is this I again, these comments really capture the spirit of the kind of things you'd see people like the exact sort of things that they would say, like beat my score of 73. I have had people like for my entry this year, I made it so that like the character that you're fighting respawns every time you die, and it just every time they die, and you just kind of have to see how long you can survive against them, because they're the hero and you're the boss, so they have infinite tries and you don't. And I was expecting people to like maybe get a score of like 2, or maybe like the average person I was expecting to like maybe get a score of 2. I was expecting some people to go like 5, maybe 6, and then I think the record right now is like 14. It's just unbelievable. Some people are like these real like challenge diehards.
Yeah, I love when like the players compete for the best score. It's awesome.
Yeah. Man, I wonder if I guess because you have the Floppy Pipes game, it does actually have a score associated with it. It would be possible to sort of get a screenshot of what the score is at the end of this game. There I go again. I'm moving my cursor to the left and I don't need to. I don't know why I do that. Yeah, my gosh, if adding screenshots to the comments to prove what the high score would have been, that would be
so funny. Actually, that's so funny.
Oh man. So, do you want to talk a little bit about the development process of the game? How was it actually like putting all these together?
Oh wow, so the development process, so that's an interesting one, because I actually wasn't planning on finishing this game, because I live in Europe and it started very late, this game jam. Oh, I'm sorry about the dogs, is that a big problem?
Don't worry about it. I mean, nothing you can do, so it's all good.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I actually wasn't planning on finishing this game because I had like a mental block with game development in Unity for a little bit of time now, and I really wasn't planning on finishing this, but like my brother just went up to me and said, this game is really good. The idea is really, really good. And he thought that I could accomplish something really great with this entry, and so I listened to him and I finished this game. So actually I made this game in 24 hours because the first day I just came up with the idea. So that's really insane. So I didn't get much sleep.
Yikes. Wow. So that's, first of all, congratulations. I'm so glad that you were able to power through and finish it, and none like your brother must have had like a vision from the future, just seeing that this game ended up becoming one of the top 20 games. So I'm super glad that you did end up finishing it. But
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, my brother is one from the heaven, I swear.
Yeah, so the how did you actually end up putting it together? Like, did you start with like a list of these quote unquote simple games that you could make, and then try to build those each out, or like how did that process come together?
So the process was actually I just made the UI at first.
Hmm.
It's probably not what you should start with because I came up with the games very late at night. So yeah, that's one thing. And so I think I struggled the most with making the second game, the green moving platforms one, because I was really trying to do something like from the old Flash games, but I just couldn't figure something out. So I just stitched something and put a bunch of post processing, and I think it looks really good, and I think it plays really fine. So yeah. And the first game, actually, I made the first game very quickly, and it was like an hour. So I was like, wow, I'm gonna finish this jam entry very fast. But no, that's wrong. That is wrong. It took a lot of time actually.
Yeah, so the Pong game, I guess, like it's
It's the simplest, definitely.
Yeah, it's the one where I feel like I could just go on forever. Like, do the paddles ever get faster, or?
You know what? I don't remember, but I think the AI gets kind of harder, or like, I'm not sure if it's just randomized. I think it might be randomized.
Okay.
So like, it might get very hard, but then again, the next round is gonna be very slow. So I'm not sure how it was.
Yeah, because at least from the way it feels right now, I could probably just keep playing the game forever in terms of just sort of swerving out of the way of the paddle at the last second. It seems like it has a hard time reacting to that tactic.
I think there was like a possibility of it getting impossible, but I just left it in the game. So yeah. But I never got it to occur for me, so it's probably very rare.
Yeah, so I mean, I was going to say this earlier, but I think that starting with the UI in a game like this actually does make the most sense, because that's the core of the game, and then whatever else you build aside from that is just whatever you have time for.
So. I guess, but then again, making the games, I wasn't really sure about that. If I had it planned earlier, like the games I wanted to make, I guess that would make more sense, because you know, you never know the scope, and like if you make a game with 3 games inside of it, then wow, you better have an idea of what you're doing, because Jesus Christ, 24 hours.
No, absolutely. I mean, this fundamentally could have worked with, I'd say even one fewer than the number of games that are in here right now. Like if you hadn't had time to make 4 games. Wait, because there's the Pong one, there's the platforming one, there's the one that doesn't load, and then there's the Flappy Pipes. Right. So if you hadn't had time to make 3 functional games, then I think it still would have worked with 2. I think 4 was a good number. Like, is that always what you had in mind, or were you just kind of like working to the amount of time that you had?
My initial plan was to make just 3 working games, but in the middle of the night I was like, geez, I gotta make some cheese to it. So I just made like the one game that just doesn't load. I thought that was really funny at the time, and I still think it's really good. So, but then again, I had time for the last game, so I just quickly made it.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that was like that. That totally makes sense. Like you're not overscoping.
Yeah.
So that being said, what was the most difficult problem that you encountered during the jam, like actually developing the game, and what was your solution to that?
I think it was the rating thing on the left, because I keep the I kind of tried to get the score system to show up at the end and like call you names based on the rating, but I actually didn't have time for that, so I spent a little bit of time about doing this, but yeah, it just didn't came to be in the end.
Yeah, I see. I mean, I think it would have been interesting to assign like a sort of profile to the player, like if they, what were you thinking? Like if someone who was like giving lots of positive or lots of negative reviews, or something in between?
I would have thought of something, but my initial idea was like if you maybe one star everything along the way, you're gonna be called like our biggest hater or something.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. I really love calling player names, like Undertale, for example. Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah. Anytime that the game can kind of shine a mirror back on the player and just get a little meta with things, that's always fun.
Yeah, I love that.
So, yeah, do you have any plans to make any updates to the game and any post-jam versions?
I think there was like a bug or two. I don't know if I'm gonna fix it really. Right now I'm kind of busy with my project because I started my new big project, and it's going great. So I don't think I'm gonna come back to this game.
Yeah, I mean, I think it totally stands on its own, like as it is built right now. Was there any other features that you had in mind to add to it, or is this pretty much the vision that you had from the start?
No, that's pretty much it. Really, the only thing was the summary of the ratings at the end. That's really the only thing.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I man, if you could actually type your own comment as well, that could be fun.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be awesome, actually.
Yeah, but yeah, just in terms of the presentation of the like for what's here, yeah, it totally works. Oh yeah, we got the fancy background on this page. I didn't even notice that the first time.
Yeah, it's actually the same background for every single one.
There it is. Yeah, I think it's just very subtle on some of them. I didn't notice.
Oh yeah, because the color scheme kind of
Yeah.
makes it subtle. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've still got some more time. Like especially, I had a cancellation unfortunately with the second interview planned for today. So we have more time. We can talk about this or about the other project that you mentioned. The longer term project, is that something that you are up for talking about right now, or is it still kind of secret?
Oh, I can talk about it actually. So it's been in development for like a month or two, and I really love Dark Souls. So I tried to make a Souls-like game, and I think it's really shaping up to be something pretty cool. And yeah, that's really it. I've been learning a lot of 3D art in my spare time, so yeah, I've been trying to make the most out of it. And yeah, right now I'm actually trying to do the AI and the combat system for the Souls-like, and yeah, that's pretty much it about it.
Nice. Yeah, I'm definitely a fan of the Souls games, although as people on this channel will attest, I have some complaints. And I have some ideas in mind for like how I would approach Souls-like design. So yeah, I mean, Dr. Tronic is also asking, what's the Souls-like gonna be like? So do you want to talk a little bit about like what sort of spin you're planning to put on the game?
There's not like a big spin that I put on the game, but you're generally like an alchemist, and you throw flasks at the enemies, and you have like 2 slots of flasks, and you can swap them out in like this so-called bonfire. It's like a cauldron actually.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. The combat system is way simpler, but yeah, that's what you get in an indie game. And I plan to release it on HIO pretty soon, actually, because I don't want to spend a lot of time working on it. So
okay, so
and
sorry, go ahead.
and if like people really like the project, I might actually keep working on it for like a full Steam release.
Yeah, I see. So you're going for like a prototype right now. Is effectively what the scope you have in mind?
Or like the demo, more like the demo, yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, yeah. I guess it's a demo that could become the prototype of a much larger game if the responses are positive.
Yes, exactly.
Nice. Yeah,
And
I mean,
I kind of focus on the procedural animation and like so like animation through code.
yeah,
I really like that aspect of 3D art, so yeah, I've been trying my best with that.
Nice. Yeah, I don't have any experience with 3D animation, much less procedural generated animation. So, um, do you mean like the enemies are going to be procedurally generated, or like the character? Like, do you?
No, like the animations. So when you, for example, ledge grab or something, the
Mm.
hand moves to the right position, and yeah, so the game is gonna be really stylized. So yeah, I've been working a lot about the art style because yeah, I think it's very important to get the art style right in an indie game because we obviously cannot afford realistic graphics. So
Yeah, I mean, stylization, like a well-chosen art style is always going to be more important than the most photorealistic game, because photorealism ages, but a good style is immortal.
yeah, that's completely true.
So that project, if you do end up having a version of it that you are looking for feedback on, I'd be more than happy to check it out on the stream.
Yeah, obviously, I'm gonna start playtesting and giving out playtesting copies very soon. So yeah, obviously, I can send you something.
Yeah, I mean I do these interviews on the stream, but I also do feedback sessions where I just people have their games that they submit, and I'll either just play it usually for a little bit in isolation just to get sort of first impressions, so you can see like, oh, this is what's on my mind, to sort of speak my mind as I'm playing the game. But then I also bring people on, just like I'm doing now, and have a conversation about them, like the design of the game, and really try to like learn about what their design objectives are, and um, try to work with them to give some like useful feedback that's like actual changes or suggestions that are going to be helpful towards the development of the game. So I'd definitely
Yeah,
be happy
that's
to do
awesome.
that. Do you have a name for this like project in progress?
It's currently Project Venchant, but yeah, it's just a name for now.
Sure.
I'm not sure if it's gonna stick in the end, but yeah.
Yeah, that's totally fine. I mean, yeah, so in any case, I do look forward to checking it out at some point, and yeah, having you back on the stream so we can chat about it.
Yeah, awesome.
Um, I guess we're gonna start wrapping things up here for now. But if anyone has any other questions they'd like to ask either about this game or about the Venchant, am I saying it right?
Yeah, it's correct.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah, please feel free to ask those now. And in the meantime, do you have any social media channels you want to plug? Or, well, you mentioned this project, but any other like past games that you want people to check out?
I have oh wait. I have basically all of my games are on itch right now, and
Mhm.
I can send you my Twitter.
Yep. I think I've got it here on the itch.io page as well. So I'll make sure to
Oh
drop.
yeah, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, a lot of people don't link their social media channels. Do I link my social media channel? I don't even know if I do. Oh yeah, I did. Although I
Yeah, Twitter
officially
is the most important, really.
I mean, yeah, I officially don't use Twitter anymore because they made it so that you can't use TweetDeck without a paid account anymore, and it's like, oh, I'm not doing that.
Oh wow, that's terrible, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Twitter Blue. It's very weird.
Bart Moon, I will die on the hill calling it Twitter.
Yeah, it's X actually. No.
Yeah, no, I refuse to acknowledge the fact that it changed, but anyway, yeah, I mean, hey, look, the web URL still says twitter.com, so
Yeah, that's
that's on
true.
them.
I doubt actually anybody calls it X in the HQ, so I don't feel guilty about it.
No, not at all. All right. Well, yeah, Blazer, thank you so much for joining me on the stream and for talking through our dearest player. And yeah, whenever you have a chance to share a version of Vanchamp, I'd be more than happy to take a look.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. You
Bye bye.
too. See ya.
Thank you.